أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the sun. You should know about sun. The sun, it runs on its fixed course for a term. That is the commandment of Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the knowing. You should learn about the sun and its running. Its fixed course is under the throne, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it sun and moon both constantly pursuing their courses. Allah says, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمُ الشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ دَائِبَيْنِ, and He has made the sun and the moon both constantly pursuing their courses to be of service to you. Chapter 14, verse 33. Its meaning: they will never slow down or stop until the day of judgment. Allah says, it is the decree, it is the commandment of the Almighty, of the dominant Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It means which none can oppose or prevent it. Al-Alim, the all-knowing, who knows every moment and every cessation of moment, who has decreed that and who has set it in motion following a pattern in which there are no inversions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَالِكُ الْإِصْبَاحِ وَجَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ سَكَنًا وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ حُسْبَانًا ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. He is the clever of the daybreak. He has appointed the night for resting, and the sun and the moon for reckoning. Such is the misery of the Almighty, the All-Knowing. Chapter 6, verse 26. And this is how this verse ends. ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the chapter Yasin, this is the decree of the Almighty, the All-Knowing. وَالْقَمَرَ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ, and the moon we have decreed for its stages. Allah, what does meaning by this verse? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He intends by this verse, we have caused it to run in a different orbit, from which passing of the month can be deduced, just as night and day are known from the sun. This is like the verse, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْأَحِلَّةِ قُلْ هِيَ مَوَاقِيتُ لِلنَّاسِ وَالْحَجِّ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in chapter Al-Baqarah, verse number 189, they ask you about the crescent moons. Tell, tell to them. These are signs to mark fixed periods of time for mankind and for the pilgrimage, Hajj. يسألونك عن الأهلة قل هي مواقيت للناس والحج. It is signs to mark fixed periods of time. هو الذي جعل الشمس ضياء والقمر نورا وقدره منازل لتعلموا عدد السنين والحساب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, chapter number 10, verse 5. It is He who made the sun a shining thing and the moon as a light, and measured out for its stages, that you might know the number of years of the reckoning. وَجَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ آيَتَيْنِ فَمَحَوْنَا آيَةَ اللَّيْلِ وَجَعَلْنَا آيَةَ النَّهَارِ مُبْصِرَةً لِتَبْتَغُوا فَضْلًا مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ وَلِتَعْلَمُوا عَدَدَ السِّنِينَ وَالْحِسَابَ وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ فَصَّلْنَاهُ تَفْصِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained that, and we have appointed the night and the day as to ayah, as to sign. Then we have obliterated the sign of the night, while we have made the sign of the day illuminating, that you may seek bounty from your Lord, and that you may know the number of the years and the reckoning. And we have explained everything with full explanation. So He has given the sun its own light, and the moon its reflection of light, and has given each its own orbit. So the sun rises each day and sets at the end of the day, giving one kind of light all the time, but it moves, rising and setting at different points in the summer and winter, thus making the days and the nights longer or shorter alternatively according to the season. Its authority is in the daytime, for it is the heavenly body that dominates the day. As for the moon, Allah has decreed that it should pass through different phases. At the beginning of the month, the moon appears small when it rises. It gives off little light. Then on the second night, its light increases and it rises to a higher position. And the higher it rises, the more light it gives, even though it is reflected from the sun, until it becomes full on the 14th night of the month. Then it starts to wane until the end of the month, until it appears like the old dried curved date stalk. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, this is the original stem which connects the bunch of the date to the tree. The Arabs have a name for each set of 3 nights in a month. According to the phases of the moon, they call the first 3 nights HISAN, the next 3 nights Nufal, and the next 3 nights Pusa, because the last of them is the ninth. The next three nights are called Ushur, 10, because the first of them is the 10th. The next three nights are called Al-Bid, 8, because of the light of the moon which shines brightly throughout these 3 nights. The next 3 nights are called Dura, the plural of Dara, because on the first of them the night is dark from the moon rising late. Dara refers to the black sheep, the one whose head is black. The next 3 nights Zulam, then Hanadis, then Da'adis, then Mahakal, because of the absence of moonlight at the beginning of the month. Abu Ubaid did not recognize the names Tusa and Ushur in the book Gharib al-Musannaf.